Joining us now, the top election official in one of those states named in the declassified documents, Rhode Island Secretary of State Greg Amore. Secretary, thank you so much for being with us. So just to start here, do you have any evidence of concerning interference, even attempts to interfere in your state's elections by China or any other foreign actor?
None whatsoever. We have not been breached.
And when you saw these allegations, what came to mind for you?
So, as is often the case, the president's rhetoric doesn't match the facts or the documents that even the White House put on their website. We looked at those documents. We saw where Rhode Island was mentioned. And obviously, we were mentioned as a state where some Chinese actor purchased the open voter file that is open to the public. And it wasn't through our office, actually. It was through an outside vendor. And we're aware of that. That's public information by Rhode Island law. And we're aware of much of what the president presented as well through our intelligence briefings and the 2020 report conducted by the National Intelligence Council. John Ratcliffe signed off on it. It indicated that no foreign actor attempted to alter the election's technical process.
Rhode Island has gone back and forth with this administration over their attempted overreach on elections. Just a few weeks ago, you received what you called an intimidation letter by the Department of Justice, threatening criminal prosecution of state election officials who knowingly leave non-citizens on their voting rolls or allow even a single non-citizen to receive or cast a ballot in a federal election. What was your takeaway from that letter?
Yeah, I think this is a last gasp effort. After having failed in court after court after court, having failed in the legislative process with the SAVE Act, this was an attempt to intimidate elections administrators. It was a set alone paragraph in the letter. Moreover, if you knowingly, that's not what elections administrators do. We follow the state law and the federal law. We maintain our voter rolls through an ongoing process. And my view was that was an attempt to intimidate elections administrators.
Rhode Island is also one of the states that has pushed back on the administration's attempts to force you to turn over unredacted voter rolls. The DOJ tried to sue. They failed, as they have in many other states. Why has the administration not been able to convince any judge that turning over these rolls is in fact justified?
It's clearly against federal law, and it's also against our state law here in Rhode Island. But it's clearly against federal law, and there's no fact pattern to support this discovery. And every judge has said that. And then, moreover, there's a constitutional issue here. Article 1, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution has the states managing elections, and this would be an interference in that constitutional duty of the states. So it doesn't surprise me that they've failed, I think, in 16 courts now, and they'll fail on appeal as well.
Here's the thing that I think about a lot, which is they're failing across the board. And even though they are trying every which way to change the outcome of these elections, to interfere in the substance of the elections themselves, part of where it does seem they are succeeding potentially is in sowing doubt and fear, an element of chaos. And I wonder for you as an election official, how you contend with a threat that then is so amorphous.
I think we have to fight the rhetoric with facts. We have to talk to the public about how the system works. We have to talk to the public about how most elections administrators are not thinking about politics. They are thinking about the process. But there's no doubt that this is an effort to sow doubt. And it's worked. We've seen that in polling, and we see that every day with inquiries to our office around how the system works. We've toured our state talking about how elections work to try to counter some of this misinformation.
Rhode Island Secretary of State Greg Amore, I hope you'll come back. Thank you so much for being with us, Mr.
Thanks
Secretary.
For having me.